Hey folks, Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist. In this case, talking again about the topic of silver. So I was just doing a video for my Spanish channel regarding silver, precious metals and such. It's one of those things that in the Latin American context, Spanish-speaking countries, it's really not that much of a cultural thing as it is in the United States. I guess that people in US understand the value of precious metals a bit more. Maybe it's more accessible. Maybe, I mean, you've had until quite recently actual silver going around in your pockets. The last one was in 1964 with your Kennedy half would be one of the more symbolic ones of a bygone era, I guess. But I suppose that that's part of it in the context. There's been other countries. Spain has had its own silver coin until, this is from 1880, is it? Man, yeah, that may well be the case. Let me look at there. Anyway, so Spain, France, Swiss. The Swiss, man, have had some very nice silver over the years. They're still using the same freaking coin, even though it's no longer made with silver. But other countries have had it as well. In general, in Latin America, it hasn't been that much of a thing. They were screwed earlier on than many other countries when the debasement of their economy, and it reflects on the reality of these countries. So there's maybe a lesson there as well. Anyway, I was just watching price of silver. What's the price of an ounce of silver right now? 25 bucks. Good luck with that. I'm not going to be finding a silver eagle for 25 bucks anywhere. I mean, I was just checking AppMex. It's going for like $35. So there's this gap, and we all know that the market is manipulated to a great deal, especially when it comes to silver, but it's always going to be up to a certain point. Why? Because they cannot print this stuff. So they can manipulate the market only up to a certain point, because they cannot print this. They cannot make this out of thin air. So the BS only reaches a certain point. And I think that's something that is starting to become more and more obvious, especially because there's huge gap between the official price of silver, which is 25 bucks, and the reality of you not finding a damn ounce of silver out there for less than 30, 35. If you do, grab it right now, because it's really not common at all. This brings us, of course, to the reality of the economic situation, inflation. A lot of this stuff, as always, recommending my book, Street Survival Skills, and especially this one for this topic, Modern Survival Manual, Surviving the Economic Collapse. I know very well what happens with inflation. Unfortunately, still in Argentina, inflation is terrible, some of the worst in the world. And one of the, I mean, maybe the greatest problem, and the reason why they have so much inflation, is how much money they're printing. In the last couple years, Argentina has printed 2 times their base currency. That means they're printing twice the amount of paper money in the streets, on the streets. Now, interestingly enough, in the last couple years, US has printed up like 50% of your own economy. That is terrible. That is huge. And that brings, you guess it, inflation. So you want to prepare yourself for that. Part of that is silver. You know, you start with little by little. I've been doing this for a while. They have a little decent stack of silver, nothing compared to some of what other folks have, but I'm happy enough with it. It's something that I also enjoy, and this has to be said as well. If you're not enjoying and you're not liking what you're doing, then what's the point of it? But always try to keep it real in terms of, what am I doing? Am I just stacking silver because of an objective perspective of, I want to have this kind of precious metal, I want to have this amount of silver, of gold, or whatever it is that I'm getting, or am I just buying a pretty coin that I like? I've done both. I bought pretty coins. For example, these are very pretty little coins with a cool pirate. Yeah, these are 100%, pure. Well, maybe it's like 0.9% or whatever silver coins, 2 ounces each. These are very cool coins. Now, when I bought these, I was perfectly understanding what I was getting. So you have to understand if you're getting your your coins from a government, in the case of the United States, your Silver Eagles, your well-recognized, well-established coin. The advice for anyone that's new to this, stick with that. Get yourself your Silver Eagles, keep it simple. Don't start messing with numismatic value. Numismatic value is the collector value of a certain coin, or even these ones. These are rounds are just damn pretty, and the price of these has gone through the roof. It's, I don't know how they're going. Let me know in the comments section if you know how much the pirate coin is going for these days. I know they were kind of ridiculous at a point, but the advice is stick with a well-recognized coins. You have your rounds, you have your bars, maybe by a private company. This is one of those cases. This has no giving a US dollar value. It's not worth any dollars at all. It's just some guy that made these, or some company that made these. Now, on the other hand, this is actually, United States of America, 1 ounce fine, $1. So this is actually $1 according to the U.S. government. And then you have people that try to, have hedge on different aspects. For example, the Canadian ones. This is a Canadian maple leaf. Nice coin. Queen on the other side says $5 Canadian. So you have the value of 1 ounce of silver. It also has the face value of $5. And some people try to, have that advantage of, even if it's worth less than $5 in terms of silver, it is still $5. It's still a $5 coin. Especially this one, it has a little Bigfoot little dude there. That's kind of like makes it a bit more unique and more attractive for collectors, I guess. So you kind of put your hedge on different aspects. The Australian coins, the kukuburra, that's a bird you see right there. These are also some of these new collectibles, meaning you buy them very close to spot, very close to the price of silver that year, and very often, just a couple years later, the numismatic value is greater than that, right? But still remember this, I always keep the couple denarius coins of, this is what a Roman soldier would get paid. One of these would be kind of like the minimum wage, and it's like $3-4 worth of silver. Keep in mind, minimum wage, guys, like an elite soldier would get paid maybe 5-10 of these. A craftsman that was skilled, skilled hand labor was maybe getting 5-10 times as much, or someone with a good position was making a lot more money. But even as a minimum wage, one of these $3-4 is more than what a Venezuelan does in a month. So $3-4 allows you to buy like 5, 6, 10 pounds of food, depending on what price you get. Prices are going up. Inflation is slowly destroying the fiat currency, but still, even compared to modern days, you're going to be fed with the silver amount, the silver value of just one of these coins. You're going to be eating that day if you have one of these, all right? And that is a thing. My idea is not to sell anything, is stacking as much as I can. Same thing for this other guy right here, the Bitcoin that I have. This is just symbolic. There's no Bitcoin coin. This is just a symbol of the keys of what Bitcoin actually is. And for anyone, if you think that this is worth absolutely nothing, Bitcoin is worth nothing, well, first of all, you're wrong. It's almost like $40,000 or whatever it is these days. So the idea of this not being worth anything, that's just stupidity, really. Just don't know what you're talking about. It's worth a damn lot of money. It certainly is. And there's not a single soul in this planet that wouldn't wish to go back 10 years ago and buy as much Bitcoin as they could and just, be obscenely rich, right? That's simply the way it is. People thought it wouldn't go up more than $100. Then it was $1,000. Then it was $5,000. Then are you crazy? $10,000 for a Bitcoin that doesn't even exist? And now we are where we are. And some people think in the prophetic aspect of Bitcoin is going to be worth over $1 million. And at that point, no one's going to be bothering with comparing it to what a dollar used to be. I would be one of those guys. I think that this is the way humanity is going to be going, in spite of all the, things that could go wrong. And we were talking about this with Matt Bracken the weekend about, if they make it illegal. Well, you can make something illegal. Doesn't mean, and remember that it was a point in which in the United States, it was illegal for you to have gold as well. And still gold is still around and still worth a lot of money. So even if they ban this, in fact it's going to be a lot more difficult to take this away from you than physically snatch this from your corpse. So there is that aspect to cryptocurrency that I love, especially with Bitcoin. If you have no idea what Bitcoin is around and you want to keep it super simple, take advantage of your privilege. And before you snap, I'm talking about you have a privilege that you don't even know about. You know what that is? You can go right now, following the link below there, and go to Coinbase.com, which is the largest exchange of cryptocurrency, and you can buy right now whatever amount of Bitcoin that you want. You can do that. The people that I was addressing in my previous video in Spanish cannot do that. All right, for the 200,000 subscribers that I have in my Spanish channel, those guys send me messages. Damn, I want to buy it and I cannot buy it. I cannot access this in my country. This is just not operating in many Latin American countries, and they cannot buy it even though they want to do it. If they could, they would get as much of this as they could. And in fact, many of them do. In Venezuela, in many African impoverished nations where the economy is completely destroyed, they go with cryptocurrency, because it's this thing that's stable, and it's not only stable but actually increasing in value in many cases. And it goes up and down, and some people lose their minds over it, but long term, it's only going to be going up. So I think that there's a lot of value in this stuff. In silver, I think there's a lot of value in this tiny stuff, which is a lot more compact and easier to carry around. In gold, but I think it's a lot of value in here as well. And the big advantage is, if I want to sell one of these, I'm very happy I have it. I wish I had a ton more. I'm happy enough as it is. But if I want to sell one of these, I have to deal with some asshole that's going to be trying to screw me over as much as he can, and that's perfectly understandable. No complaints there. But if I'm taking my silver 1995 silver dollar, how much is this worth? Well, it's worth a certain amount of money, but I'll have to haggle and negotiate with someone and find a number that works for both of us. If I want to sell my Morgan Carson City 1878 Morgan dollar, I'll have to do that as well. And it's not going to be clean, nice, and fast. It's going to be a lot more messy than if I want to sell my Bitcoin. If I want to sell my Bitcoin, I just pick up my cell phone, go to Coinbase, and sell it, as I did many times before, selling it or buying it in a matter of seconds. So you have your digital gold ready just in case, and you see it going up and down, and don't freak out. Just don't sell it when you see it dropping a bit or a lot. If it loses 20%, dude, look at the chart historical. That's the only thing you should be worrying about. And if you see it cheaper, buy more of it. That's basically my advice. And guys, don't spend money on anything you cannot afford. That's always the big thing. If you have other priorities, even just a stash of cash for emergencies. So always keep that in mind, but don't rush and sell when you see something losing its value. I mean, silver used to be $40. $40 silver, we saw that quite recently. What was it, 2008? Then it went down to $15. Now it's back to 35, at least in the market it is. Don't sell it. Just stock it up, and whenever it's cheaper, buy a little bit more if you can afford to do so. Same advice for Bitcoin, at least that's the way I see it. And over the years, man, I'm gonna be saying it, I've been proven right in this. If you just enjoy it, that's also something else you can do. I love collecting silver as well. Some of these coins, I love having them. Don't buy stupid, expensive numismatic coins, but if you find a good deal, for example, for these, I think that back in the day, I paid like $25 for each one of these. I really do. I'm pretty, well, this one, and I have a few of these, but I found someone selling these basically for $25 each, cased in PCGS grading, very nice coins. So yeah, why not? If I can get it, same thing with the plastic and grade, absolutely, all day long. Same thing for this one. I think this was just a couple more bucks, and I just want to have it. Why not go for it if the price is right? But use your head, be smart about it. Again, eggs in different baskets. This basket, though, is by far the more convenient one. I can talk about silver, I love it, but honestly, this is the thing that I see being the future of saving your money. And man, someone makes it illegal. You know what? I would even bet that's not going to be happening because they're monetizing this themselves. The elite is making money with Bitcoin. The government is getting its share as well from people paying whatever profit they made with it. So that's something, you know, that makes the man happy as well. So they will talk about a lot of crap. I don't think they'll actually end up doing it because they like money, which is at the end of the day what they like the most. Anyway, folks, interested in all of this stuff, remember my books, remember the link if you're interested in Coinbase. If you buy $100 of Bitcoin, if you buy $100 of Bitcoin, you get $110 actually using the affiliate link below, and I get a $10 commission for bringing the client over to Coinbase, which is awesome. One of those win-win situations that I very much like. See you in the next video, guys. Have a great day. Take care.